everybody, my name is Sherry. Welcome to my stamp studio. I'm going to do a couple of more projects using new stuff out of the catalog, and then I'm going to give you a preview of my April card club, and then after that I'm going to do a few days of things that are on the last chance list. So that's what I have coming up. Lots of stamping to do. I am also working on the latte class, so that should go out by the end of this week, if not sooner. So let's get going on today's card. Like I said, I'm going to use products out of the annual catalog. So I've done a few already. All of these have tutorials up. If you want to go look at these, one's missing because I think there's one in between these. I don't know. It's been a minute since I stamped. And then I did these. I want to show you these because this stamp bundle, the stamps and dies are part of the suite that I'm using today. It's one of those giant suites that has 2 stamp sets and 2 sets of dies. But I'm not using these today. So if you need a catalog and you're in the United States and you don't have a demonstrator, let me know. If you have purchased $50 or more since since January, I don't even know what I'm talking about, then you get a free one from me. If it's been longer than that, you can buy one. The link is on my website, and then you get your money back when you make a purchase in May. So it's a fabulous catalog. I cannot wait to do the catalog walkthrough with you. I think when you first get it, you're going to be, you're shocked when you see the outside. You'll be a little surprised on the inside too, because it is different. So I'm going to use a suite today. I don't remember the name of the suite, and I can't open the catalog. This is the worst time of year every time when we get a new catalog, and I can't open it because it's against our policy. But I'm using the Flowers of Beauty bundle. Like I said, it goes with the words I used the other day. And then I'm going to use these words instead of the words that you can get as part of the suite. It's Comforting Thoughts. This is available now. It's one of our online exclusives. So if you go down below the video, or if you're on my email, I'll have the link so you can go straight to it on my website. I love the words in it. I love There Is No Good Card for This. I love thinking of you, praying for you, and hoping with you. Wishing you comfort. I wish I could make it better. The cancer sucks. Hope this is a feeling better kind of day. It's a great stamp set with words that you can then combine with all kinds of different cards that we happen to make and that we don't like to make. So I'm going to use this. I don't have all the right words to say. I do have lots of love to give. That's the one thing I'm going to put on today's card. And the card that I'm making is inspired by one of the samples for this suite. So when you get your catalog, you can go see which one I copied, but it's not the same. I like it. I don't often use cards in the catalog as a jumping off point, except for when the catalog's brand new. So here's the stamp set. You can see it has flowers and leaves, as Stampin' Up! Does incredibly well. And then I was going to use these on it and punch out all these little flowers, but it really didn't need it. When you're doing kind of sympathy cards, I always take a little bit of a less is more, and I was already using the glimmer paper, so to pop these out and put them on in glimmer paper I felt was like a bit much. But that is the bundle, except for the ones I'm using on the card. Those are over on my die cut machine. Then let's take a look at the paper. This is called In Color Glimmer, and I did use it on the card. I used this one. I've used it on a couple of cards. That must be oh no, I showed you the one. So if you go look I have a playlist of the new catalog. It's Monday, I'm a little bit scattered, but it is the 5 new in colors, and I'm going to use in colors on today's card. So we have all 5 colors there. It's really pretty, and our glimmer paper, nothing falls off of it. It's not like scratchy, no glitter will ever fall off of it, even after you run it through the die cutting machine. Fabulous paper. And then I am going to use just a little, I started out with this, and then it has just a tiny little bit on it. The Unbounded Beauty paper. It's really pretty. I might do my first Try It class card with this, because this is also the pack that I won. I like this one. I debated between this one and the other one that I ended up sticking on my card. But I won a packet of this at On Stage, so I have one extra of it. So let's make the card. Like I said, I was inspired by one in the catalog, so it's a white-based card. So we're going to just fold a white piece in half. And then I have, it's a 1 1/4 by 4 inch strip of the paper. And the first one I cut was 1 1/2 and it was too big. So then I cut this off and it was laying on the table. And when I went to throw it in the trash, I saw this. So I may use the little scrap, which would just be like a 1/4 inch. And then I just have some more white cardstock. So let's stamp. Let's remember what I did. Let's start with the Shy Shamrock. One of my pads is missing. No, it's not. There it is. So Shy Shamrock is, so we have 2 new greens. This is one that if you put a blue here, it would be kind of the go-between between a green and a blue. So for this card, I'm going to go with the greener for the leaves. And then it's a 2-step. I ended up only using the 1. So I'm going to use the one that's a little bit more full. I tried it a couple of different ways. Again, I was trying to keep it a little bit light and airy because it's a sympathy card. And it's not so much sympathy. It could even be for a breakup, which I guess is sympathy, a divorce. So just stamp that on there. Isn't that pretty? It's just light and simple. That's all I need in the Shy Shamrock. And then I'm going to stamp the flowers. So they're a 2-step as well. So I'm going to use the peach pie first. These stamp pads always are a tiny bit harder to open. I'm going to do one of them this direction. So the peach pie looks a lot more pumpkin pie. And we have pecan pie too. When you first stamp it, as it dries, it lightens up a little bit more like that. And it's partly because, you know, when you get a brand new stamp pad, they're nice and juicy. So I'm going to build a little scene and then put stuff on top of it. So I'm spreading this out more than you might be naturally drawn to. Now I'm going to do Petunia Pop. So this is a pink that has a bit of purple to it. And you can see this stamp, it has 3 flowers on one and 1 flower on the other. So the first time I'll do it with the one where I have 3 flowers on top. It does not have to be perfect. There are also dies that will cut these out. Just want them to land on top of a flower. So there's that one. And again, this will lighten up a little bit. Ink this again. And this time I'm going to do, because I flipped it upside down, it will be the 1 flower on top. And if you miss, then you'll just have some flowers that are just airy and artsy, but super easy to do that. Then let's go to the Summer Splash. And this is where I will use the words from the Comforting Thoughts. Is that what it's called? I think so. I don't know where I laid it. Yes, Comforting Thoughts. So first we'll do just this little strip of scrap that I got when I cut my panels. Those are a little less than 5 and about 3 3/4. So this one says, I don't have all the right words to say, and it fits on here perfectly. And then I'm gonna do, I do have lots of love to give, and that will be on my card. If you had this whole suite, then you could use some of the beautiful frames, which is, I think they used a frame on the card in the catalog. But I was trying to not make you think that you needed a million things to make this card. So we have this. Now I have the glimmer paper and the two dies I didn't show you, so they're both leaves. I just want you to see how well our glimmer paper cuts out. So just pop those on there. There's one in the Summer Splash and one in the Shy Shamrock. So I'm going to roll them through. It is glimmer paper, so I like to hold it so they don't hop. But the nice thing about glimmer paper is usually once they're cut in there, I really want to use these on my Try It class, but once they're cut, they kind of stay in there. I want to use these for Try It, but we make so many cards. My husband will have a little cow if I bring down glimmer paper. But I think that maybe because we have 2 greens, I have to make things go far. We have 2 greens that are enough and 2 flowers. We'd really only have to do half. Everybody just gets a different one, which happens in Try It because y'all can't get the same things when I have to make that many packets. So you can see it's cut out. It has it is glitter, but it's not like fall off kind of glitter. Like it doesn't go anywhere. You can see there's nothing falling off. So what it does, like everything is cut and you can see I'm just knocking it out with my nails. But the glitter stuff can kind of catch. That's pretty good on that one. Let's pull this one out because we're going to do one more little technique with our dies. So there's that one. And then I'll get the rest with my scissors. Let me grab this. I forgot to turn the sound off on my iPad, so people are texting. So I don't want, the first time I did it, I just put that on there, but look, it covers everything up. So I'm just going to take this and I'm going to make it into more pieces, and I didn't even end up using all the pieces. So just kind of where they cut. I'm going to do this one maybe here. So we have this piece. I'll just use my scissors then to knock it out. It's easier to see on this side where I'm pushing. I have that one. Let's pull this out. And then this one has a little piece. You can't really even, oh, no, it doesn't. Maybe it's just if it was on regular cardstock, it would be just a line in it. That's why it's easier to do it this direction. Pop these little guys out. And a lot of times I will leave it in because the glimmer paper is beautiful, but I do want this stuff to show the stamping behind. So now we have all these pieces. We probably won't need them all. Like I said, I have some left from my other card. And then the same over here. I'm going to trim this one leaf off that's kind of on its own. So when you're trimming it, just make sure like this little leaf is part of this stem of flowers. So just trim it and then you have a whole leaf. And then over here, these are some of the ones I have left. I'm going to do one more little leaf there. Maybe this time I'll get them all on. They're just so beautiful. You hate to not use them, right? So let's grab our thing. All we have to do now is put this together. So I know that I'm going to put my Designer's Series paper strip right here. So I'm just going to put enough of this to kind of hold this in place. And I don't want it to go right over the top of any of that. And that's what happened when I tried to use the all of it. It was just covering up everything. Yeah, see, it's too much. This is the one I didn't use, I think, on my other one. Or maybe I used that one and not this other tall one. But we can kind of just aim them. Just make sure they've all grabbed. And then let's put these on. And if they're not hitting, you can either add some more here or you can add some glue to the bottoms of these. I might be able to get them on because we have one more step. I'm going to wait and put that one on. So now with this, I want to make sure that it grabs all that. So what I did was I took some dimensionals. And when I added them on, I just make sure, again, that it was grabbing over all the bits. And because they're all meeting there, now it's one extra piece to help hold them on. So I'm going to put them on the bottom card as opposed to the way we normally do it, where we put it on the top. And then I'm just going to make this have a little bit of, so it kind of looks like a banner, but not all the way. And the same thing over here. So they kind of match. I'm going to trim this one a little bit smaller. You could do it in your paper trimmer if you want to make sure it's all the way straight. There's enough going on here and nobody will notice. But I want more of that paper to show. And then we also have this, which is not on my first card. I am going to add it to this just because it gives us a little bit more of the summer splash to match that. And because I'm doing this, I'm not going to use the ribbon. I used the ribbon on the first one. I used this summer splash and I deconstructed it into thread, but this is going to do the same thing. Actually, I'll just add a little piece like that. Just a little one, because again, you don't put this tiny piece of Designer Series paper on here and then want to cover it all up, right? Because you want people to be able to see it. But I can do this over the top of that. And then I have this piece. I'm going to kind of go there. I cut this one into, it's a little bit smaller on my other one. But I think that a peach pie kind of holds its own. So I think this is okay over the top of it. And then let's see, do I want to put a little bit, I'm going to trim this down. I don't want all this on here. And then on this, make sure you get a lot of adhesive so it helps, again, sandwich this all in here. There we go. Now it's all my little bits of scrap. I want this to be raised up. I think it'll just give it a little bit more interest if this isn't on the card. And on my other one, I just used 4, I probably used 6 dimensionals, but then I saw I have this. This is one I think left from a paper pumpkin or a kit. But when you have the scraps, it's perfect for this. You can also use the adhesive, the sheets of this that come in the catalog. So some of the stuff is going up in price. I can't remember if dimensionals are. For some reason, I feel like they are, but don't quote me on that. I will have in my next email, the email that goes with this, I am putting a little list so you know what you might want to shop for the rest of this month or early in May. I say early in May because what will happen is people will start to realize that that stuff's going up and everybody will get it, and then it will probably go on back order, and then you won't be able to get it cheaper. Now I'm going to take my Shy Shamrock, and none of the price, nothing is as bad as like when you go to the grocery and you see how like hamburger's gone up or chicken's gone up, or when the eggs went up and you were paying a fortune for eggs. Nothing's that bad. It's just a little bit here and there. And it's been a minute since they've raised most of the prices. And it's not everything. It's a select little list, and I will give it to you. But I'm going to take my Shy Shamrock, brand new blend, because this does not ruin your blends. Every time I do it, people will ask, does this ruin your blend? And it does not. But it just adds a little bit more when you have a plain white card. I thought about doing it with the Petunia Pop too. But I just kind of kept it, like I said, a little bit more simple. Then these are the embellishments that are part of this suite. They are the resin dots for the 2024-2026 in colors. I'm going to put 5, but on this card, we do not have the Pretty in Pink. And then this is the peach. It looks a little yellow, I think. So it's just sometimes the embellishments don't go exactly the way that paper and ink do. Let's add 2 little ones. I'm doing opposite of what I did on the other one, so I don't use them all up. So here's 4, but you don't want an even number, although on a card like this, where so much is going on, if you do, it's not going to be as noticeable. So let's grab another one of these that are... There we go. Super simple. So here is this one. Let me show you what I did with the ribbon on the other one. I just cut it, and then I pulled all these little strings out. So again, it wasn't overwhelming, but it just adds a little bit of a highlight then to the card. Super fun. Isn't that pretty? Now that I've played with this paper, I've told myself you aren't working on your Try It class card yet. I got to get the latte out, and I'm ready to film my card club, which is in the mail for March. But I really want to do Try It. I have a hard time of going ahead and not doing what needs to be done. Anybody else like that? So this is what I have for you today. Again, be watching for a couple more things from this. I want to use the airplane. I want to use the shopping cart. I would like to use the shells. Maybe I'll do those 3, and then I'll put a lid on it until I can go back and do the retiring stuff. Everybody have a great day. Remember, if you need a catalog, let me know. Have a great one. Bye.